Hi all, welcome to the final whistle. It's match preview night then. Leicester City take on Rotherham United at the King Power Stadium. Top versus a bottom. Hope everyone's well. Yeah, bear with me if we've got a few technical bloody issues. Hope everyone's good though. Hope everyone's looking forward to the game. A massive game for Leicester. Big game for Rotherham as well, as they're the visitors this weekend. Can Leicester make it 5 wins out the last 5? That is the big question for the Foxes in this one. Yeah, I don't know if I froze. Have I froze? That is the thing. Have I froze? That is the question. I don't know if I have. But, yeah. Guys, get involved. Get your questions in as always. Let me know what you think the score predictions are, team selection, all that. We're going to go through it all. And yeah, let's see who's in the comments. Sam's in. How are you, Sam? How are you, mate? Hope you're good. Callum's in as well. Don't forget the championship predictions, week 24. Yes, that will be soon. When's your next match review show? It should be soon. It should be very soon. Let's get my guest in then. I've got a Rotherham United fan for tonight, Terry Langton, who is a big Rotherham United fan. Let's get him in. How are you, mate?
How are you, Jack? You all right, mate?
I'm all right, pal. Thank you. Talk to me about your love for Rotherham United, then, pal. Where it all started and your all-time favourite player.
Where it started, mate, was Hereford away, mate. That's where I fell in love with Rotherham. 3-2, we won away at Edgar Park, I think it's called, something like that.
It is
down
Park,
there. Yeah. Yeah, my first away game, and that's when I fell in love with Rotherham. And I've loved them ever since. I've had a season ticket at the New York Stadium ever since it got opened in 2012. Sat in the same seat all along, just behind the net. I've had some great memories there, like promotions, back-to-back promotions, Steve Evans, and just great good times. We've had us ups, we've had us downs, like every club has. So yeah.
Terrible. Or Terry, as Ross calls you. Hello, Tezza. So, Terry, we're going to get to know Rotherham United first, the opposition at the weekend. You've had 2 managers this season, haven't you? You've had Matty Taylor. You've now got Liam Richardson, former Wigan head coach. 24th in the table. I mean, how have you found things this season as a Rotherham United fan? And what's your thoughts on this season so far?
See, a lot of people might disagree with me on this, but I think seriously, like the injuries that come at the wrong time for Matt Taylor and the backroom staff for him, unfortunately, like the injuries stopped him from doing what he wanted to do. You could see what he was trying to do. He was trying to implement a play style where we could get the ball down on the floor. Sometimes hit it direct to Ugal and like try and link up the play that way and try and get it in the wide areas. I could tell the way that he was trying to do it, but the injuries set him back a lot. And like I say, when you've got the injury list that we had at the start of the season and still got it now, there's no chance for him, basically. And I do feel sorry for him because I think the recruitment this year was just absolutely terrible. Like, we've got players in that are like 30-odd-year-old, like, for instance, your Sean Morrisons and your Daniel Ayala's. I mean, Daniel Ayala come a bit later than these guys, so you've got your, like, Sean Morrison, you've got Grant Hall. And these guys that have come in have not got the best injury record at all. So in that comparison to even staying up, I can see why they've brought him in, just to have that bit of a Champions experience. But with the injury list they've got, I think the recruitment was poor this year, seriously, and that's what's probably hit us hard this year. For Matt Taylor to get sacked, to be fair, I think that's what. I mean, you can't regret the poor performances that we've gone sometimes under Taylor, like going away and getting battered 5-0 at Watford. That lost him the job. But seriously, I think he had to work with what he had, and unfortunately, it didn't work out for him in the end.
You obviously picked up points at home. Obviously, home is where you picked up the most points this season. You picked up points against Leeds, Ipswich. I believe Leicester and Bristol City are the only sides to beat you at home this season with West Brom.
Yeah.
How do you take, like, with the home form? Is home form key in where your survival is going to be this season, Terry, do you reckon?
Yeah, you could probably say that. Yeah, definitely. Like, for instance, like I said, in past, like, people might agree with me. The away form, we haven't won in a championship game since, I think it's like November 2022. Last time we won an away game were Sheffield United away 1-0. And that was the last time we won an away game. So you can tell that it's definitely the home form that's the key to try and keep us up this year. But I think at home we need to kind of try and get more on the front foot and try and take these draws that we're getting at home into wins and just try and get the 3 points instead of the 1. Just try and even have a chance of staying up this year.
Yep. Liam Richardson is now the head coach at Rotherham. Obviously, he is well known at Rotherham as a team, Mr. Richardson. Is Liam Richardson the man who you feel could turn it around, or do you feel like, as a Rotherham fan, that he has a massive job on his hands?
I mean, I wish him all the best. I hope he does keep us up, and like any other Rotherham fan would. But I think he's got a very big task on his hands with what Matt Taylor spent in the summer. I mean, he spent again, you don't know the full story, but apparently it was reported up to £1 million for non-Bay to come in. Tay, apparently the Christ Tay's midfielder, which has been an absolute menace in there this year, been class, probably player of season up to press, as well as Johansson in there. I think he cost about 800k, so I don't think there's much in the bank for Richardson to work with. So it's going to be I think it's going to be I hope he can do it, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Like, I think we will look into January this year and look to be rebuilding for League One next year. I think, because I think you could have. I'm not saying I don't want to stay up. I do. I'd love to stay up, but I just think it's too much of a task for Liam Richardson, to be fair.
What's been your expectation for Rotherham? What was it at the start of the season? Obviously, he stayed up last season, battling with the likes of Reading and that.
To be fair, like, obviously they had like financial difficulties and they got like deducted points, and that's probably, I think that's what helped. I'm not saying that's what helped Rotherham. To be fair, I've said this a lot to a lot of a couple of Rotherham fans and a lot of Rotherham fans. I think Paul Warne's start of the season last year did keep us up. But I think, like, under Matt Taylor, we did get a few good wins with him at home, like against like West Brom. We beat QPR at home 3-1. Like, both games we beat the team 3-1. Good performances. But that's when we had the likes of a good players like Chio Ogbene. You can tell that he's a good player because he's really up in the Premier League. Now, we've missed him so much because people say, yeah, he ain't got an end product. He didn't have that much of an end product, but when he got the ball, he just absolutely just got at your defence and just created something out of nothing. So he's one of them.
Yep. Let's have a look at your last game. You went to Plymouth away. A 3-2 defeat, a narrow 3-2 defeat. How did you find the game against Plymouth?
To be fair, I looked at the scoreline because I was on a Christmas do. I was back in Barnsley, so I was looking at the scoreline. I didn't actually watch the game. But the performance, apparently you can't fault Flatter really. To be fair, apparently, what I've heard, think the Daniel Ayala sending off when he handballed it changes the game. You're down to 10 men. Apparently, the first 25 minutes is what I'm listening to Richardson say. First 25 minutes, we were on top. We scored in the first 16 minutes. We went up 1-0. To be fair, you can't grumble that away from home. They got back into a game with again, is it a penalty? Is it not a penalty? It's one of them kind of things. You see them in the Championship, in the Premier League. They've given, not given, but it got given this time. Unfortunately, you can't get a referee can't get it all right all the time. So
it's
a battling performance. It's a battling performance, and at the end of the day, Liam Richardson's now got this week to, without no midweek game, to get this team to where he wants to be, ready for Leicester. I'm not saying that I don't expect anything from Leicester this weekend. I am going away to Leicester this weekend. I will be there at the King Palace this weekend. But I just really don't expect him to get anything. But I expect us, if we just put a battling performance up against your guys and just even, I mean, I know it sounds harsh on us and me as a fan, but if we park the bus, mate, and come away with a 0-0 draw, even a 1-1 draw, and counter-attack your guys, I'll be happy with that. I'll be happy with a draw, definitely.
What did you make of the interview from Tom Eaves? Ross said, very honest about his time at Rotherham United.
He's had a difficult time. He has had a very difficult time. Like, people, see, I'm not gonna lie. I am one of these where I think Tommy just come on and you just think he just hasn't got it. He's just never gonna make it in a Rotherham shirt, unfortunately. Like, but he hasn't really had the time to do it. He's had like 10, 15 minutes there and everywhere. The thing is, you've got him behind Hugo, you've got him behind Nombe, and you've got him behind George Kelly. He's a fourth. Basically, I put him as the fourth choice striker. Now I am buzzing for him because he got that goal at Plymouth. I'm absolutely buzzing for him. And after what he's said in the interview, saying that he struggled off the pitch as well on the pitch, it's kind of like a mental stage for him where hopefully that goal's took that kind of back shell off him, if you get what I mean, and he's gonna come into become a decent player when he can come on the pitch and hopefully get us a few goals and potentially, I don't know, you don't know, make us stay up. You don't. There's a lot of games to play yet. I'm hoping we stay up, but it's just gonna be a task. I really do.
Yeah. Before we go on to the game, Terry itself, what's your thoughts on Leicester as a Rotherham fan? I mean, what have you been quite significantly surprised by Leicester as some way? I know some fans are they didn't think Leicester or anyone would bloody get the amount of wins they've got at the start and stuff like that. How have you found Leicester as an opposition fan?
Well, us this year, because obviously we've only played you at home this year. When you come to our ground, you were just still going through the process of Enzo kind of thing. Like, it really sees. I think it was like fifth game in, were it? When we played you guys. So I kind of saw like just the process of Enzo, like getting like your guys getting into that kind of way of playing this, like playing out from the back. Like, the keeper has more touches than nearly everybody on the pitch. I mean, I've seen it a few times where we've probably played on a Friday or thing. I've not come into you and said, look, I'll go and have a look. I'll have a watch with Leicester, because you are a good team to watch. Like, Enzo's got you playing well. So when we played you as an opposition team, you were just going through that process. Like I said, like you wasn't the best, and we give you a very good game. That game, and what a goal by Casey McAtee, innit? Casey McAtee. He were a great goal. That you can't take that away from me. It's so sweet on that half volley. It's one of them. Like, we were looking like we said we'd take a point. Like, what a performance we've had against you, but then that bit of brilliance won you a game, and that's what wins you guys titles. That's what gets you promotion. And I think your guys are just going to be unstoppable now, because you've got this process now where you've got this Mavedidian Fatawu in wide areas. I mean, your strike force is unbelievable for this league. You've got Vardy, Patson Daka, and Iheanacho. Like, we'd love to we wouldn't even be able to lace one of them boots, mate. No doubt, have all three of them in your squad. You've got a really good squad. Winks in the midfield. Like, I could probably name majority of your squad, because you've kept a lot of good players. Dewsbury, Ndidi. I'm surprised Ndidi is still with you. to be fair, after the summer. I know we were linked to go away from you guys. I don't know about Dewsbury Hall, but like I say, it's a great squad, lad, and I hope I hope you do go up because you deserve it after how many wins you've got and how you're playing at the minute.
What's been your thoughts on Jamie Vardy? Obviously, as a Yorkshireman like you, how do you see Jamie Vardy? I mean, I know Rotherham fans hate Sheffield Wednesday. He was in Sheffield Wednesday's academy. What has been your initial thoughts on Jamie Vardy in his career?
Jamie Vardy in his career? I'm just trying to get you something out of the draw, actually. I'm just going to get you something out of the draw. I have actually got the Jamie Vardy book. I'm not going to lie. I've actually got his autobiography here. I've actually read his book because I think what a great story he's come from being at Halifax, from Stockbridge Park still, to be fair, going to Halifax, then going to Fleetwood, then getting his break move to Leicester for £1 million. I have read his story. I've read everything. I even know David Nugent were his best man at his wedding. Literally, even though I'm not a Leicester fan, I do read into that kind of stuff. And luckily, we're talking about him now. And I have read up on Vardy quite a lot. I even know his breakfast routine and everything, mate. So it's kind of crazy how much I know about Jamie Vardy. I like him as a player. I think he's a great player. Like saying to him to break the record, like Ross has just said there, it just shows you what you can do if you just keep if you keep your mindset at anything you can do. Anything's possible, and your guys have even shown it in the Premier League. Anything's possible. You were 5,000 to 1 in that season to win the Premier League, and you've made that happen. Anything's possible if you've got the right mindset and the right team and the right team moral to get where you want to be.
Here is Ross. Ross,
good evening.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Not bad. It's been a good interview so far. Enjoying it.
Right then, Ross. Let's get on to the game itself. Leicester versus Rotherham United. Ross, talk to me about Leicester. I'm going to put you on full screen. Actually, I'm just going to change this graphic round on my side of my screen. Let
me just talk
to me about Leicester v Rotherham.
Well, obviously, again, top versus bottom. And obviously, we've been in this situation a few weeks ago. So, as I say, we've got to every game. We can't take them lightly. We can't get complacent. We've got to be in the right mindset. We can't just say, "Oh, this is only Rotherham." We've got to say, "Right, this is Rotherham. We're going to go out attack and win the game." That's the main thing. That's the objective. That's the goal. Pretty much. Oh, and Jack's gone. Jack. Oh, okay. Right. It's weird. This is weird. You must have found that, But where are you, Jack? What's going on? Keep talking. Right. Okay. No worries. No, obviously, I've said, I one thing I never do. I never tell lies, and I've always said, we're never. Well, I said to you, Terry, and I said to Jack, back in August, I said, you're going to give us a good game, and to be honest, you did, and you came. I thought you deserved a draw, in my opinion. But obviously, at the end of the day, in the Football League, you grind out results, and that's exactly what you do as well. Definitely. So it is what it is. I'm just going to actually turn my Bluetooth off 1 second. There we go. Back.
There we are, Ross.
Oh, he's back.
Right, go on then.
What's going on, Jack?
Yeah, I was just changing my headphones and that over. I needed a new pair of headphones.
Yeah,
headphones went.
I was just saying, Jack. Obviously, back at I was just saying back at the New York. Obviously, Rotherham gave us a great game. Obviously, everyone, some of them, of the fans, were said, "Oh, we'll batter Rotherham and that stuff." And me and you, what we talked about on the preview before, I said they'll give us a good game, and don't underestimate them. And obviously, they thought they took the lead. And obviously, it was off a foul, which I still don't know why it was a foul.
Push on the keeper. Push on the keeper, Ross.
Keeper, wasn't it?
But obviously, the object we tied his out, and obviously it was a great, for McAteer goals, and I can't remember who scored. Is it Danny Ali? I can't pronounce his name. Who scored
No,
it?
it was the number two. Was it number two who scored?
No,
so.
it were Fred Odedimma with the header.
Yeah, that's it. I was close.
The left side.
I was close, but you know what though? Consider obviously your away form. You're taking 1,300 and 1,400 fans tomorrow. Sorry, on Saturday is good credit, to be fair.
Yeah. This one's a tough game, Ross. I mean, we've been in this position before when we played Sheffield Wednesday, top v bottom. Yeah, I think Rotherham obviously will come out and give Leicester a game. I think, like I say, they'll frustrate Leicester as much parts as other teams have this season in a fair assessment of it. I do think Leicester's got that enough quality to see Rotherham off. I mean, you can't overlook Rotherham by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know where Ross is gone, but he's on walkabout, so he can come off for a minute. It's one of them. Obviously, a win for Leicester would keep us pushing on towards, obviously, the target of promotion. We've obviously got the Dewsbury Alls, the Ndidi's, the Harry Winkses who can change games for Leicester, Fatawood and Mavadidis, who are going to be full in effect against Rotherham. I'm expecting a good game. How do you see the game going, Terry, from your end? I mean, we'll get score predictions of that later on, but obviously, looking into the game, what do you reckon?
Seriously, I can't see us getting much at your ground. Like I say, with the away form that we're on, is absolutely appalling. We can't seem to get.
Is that true?
Yeah, which one? I get sent off.
He got sent off twice in 2 weeks, apparently.
Yeah, that's true. He got sent off against Swansea at home. By stupidity. He kind of picked the ball up and stopped them playing a quick throw-in. So obviously he took the ball on the field. They've gone to get the other ball off the cone at the side of the pitch. He's just dropped the ball on the floor. Yeah, and it's just a stupid booking, to be fair. The second one were a bit of a weird one because he kind of grabbed him and then hacked him down, kind of thing. So it is a yellow card, but I don't think the referee was going to give it until the Force One.
Better, Ross.
Yeah, just moving away from the lads because they were very loud. So
okay.
I was on.
Four players round him, round the referee. That's what caused the second yellow, to be fair, on Daniel I in the Swansea game. As for the
Blackburn, that was horrendous. That Blackburn one where he mimicked the ref and got sent off. That was stupid.
No, that was just when the rules was beyond the joke. But hey, like I said on the TikTok of the other day with the Blackburn fan, the lass, she was like, "Oh, anyway, didn't get cheated out." Well, it knows not to do it. Don't do it. And to be fair, but what made me laugh is that Samodic was on a yellow card, and he was the guy who got them back into the game. He scored both goals for them. If he got a yellow card for kicking the ball away, when he was on a yellow card, that could have been a different game again. We could have won that game. But again, the referee was Bobby Madley. He's not the best referee. We've had a lot of stupid errors and stupid stuff in this season. So hey,
a lot of referees do not like Rotherham.
See a lot of our fans, and they say, "Oh, they don't want Rotherham in this league. They don't like it." I don't think it's. Again, I don't know. The referees might not want us in this league. I don't know. I say we're just an underdog, and to be fair, like Hugo does, like Daniel Ayala does, if they were in it, like I've said, coming out of the ground loads of times, if they were in a mid-table side, like a Middlesbrough, Middlesbrough, I don't know where they are, but in a Norwich or a Middlesbrough, where they've been before, they get away with it. But because it's at Rotherham now, they're trying to do the same trades and trying to put it into our team, and yet we're the underdogs. We're battling in this league, and they're not going to give us that. They're not going to give us any of them decisions at all. So stop doing it and just get on with the game. Simple as that. And we've said that all along from the shouting from the crowd. Just get on with game. Stop being kind of idiots and just play the game. Stop fooling about, kind of thing.
Yeah, agreed. This one's a must win. It's a must win for Leicester. Obviously, Leeds play Ipswich at the weekend, so ideally you'd want a draw out of that game if you're a Leicester fan. But yeah, these are the sort of games we need to win. To be fair, but like I say, Rotherham's at the bottom, aren't they? They'll come out fighting. I think Liam Richardson will get them to try and sort of like make it difficult for Leicester, and in the way he sets up and the way he goes about the game itself. Obviously, you've got players in there like Hugo and that, haven't you? Who's big, tall, strong, likes to muscle in with the defenders and that. Like obviously, fast and Vestergaard. But like I say, you're a side who's picked up points against Ipswich and Leeds this season. 2 draws. I mean, that's something positive to say you can go compete against these top 6 sides, which Rotherham have done over the last few seasons. Let's have a look at the head-to-head. Let me move that out of the way. So, table, first versus 24th, 22 played. 18-2 in the wins, 1-7 in the draws, losses 3-13. Sheffield Wednesday have obviously, they've seemed to have picked up a bit. Let's have a look at the Championship head-to-head. Played 3 games. Leicester's won 2. You won 1. We'll look at the last time you visited the KP, which would have been the Walker Stadium back then. Last 4 results at Leicester in the league. 2004, you beat us 1-0. I think that was the Boxing Day game. I believe that one was 2-1. We beat you in 2002. Filbert Street, 1983. We beat you 3-1. Then we beat you 1-0 in 1982. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting stats. This one is the last time out in the Championship at the KP, formerly known as the Walker Stadium. A 1-0 win was the last time you visited Leicester. 1-0 win. Is that something you'll look to go and comprehend going into this weekend? Does that give you some sort of positive, Terry?
I mean, hearing that we win 1-0 away at Leicester, someone like Leicester, but the times have changed now a lot. Your guys have gone on to be absolutely incredible. I'm not going to lie. You've won Premier Leagues, you've been in Champions League, you've got FA Cup, you've got the finances. Back then, it might have been, I won't say equal, but it might have been more fair, in a fairer complex to the difference of the teams. But this year, it's not going to happen, mate. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. And I just really can't. Again, like I keep saying, Mavadid is just going to tear Bramall a new one all game long. Same with Fatou on the other side. He'll probably do Lembasika or vice versa, because obviously I think it's the vice versa what I've said then. I just can't see you're going to dominate us in the wide areas, and you're going to get to the byline, do what your guys do, and I think you're going to score probably maybe 3 or 4 goals on Saturday. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, every team says that, don't they, Ross? With Leicester, well, they're going to batter us. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. You have no right in this league in battering anybody. Let's be honest. No matter if you're at the bottom or 22nd or wherever it is,
It doesn't. In the day, it doesn't matter. And every time we win somebody, they call us Parachute FC. So it doesn't matter what.
That'd be Rotherham at the weekend. Parachute FC, at it again.
But you know what though? You say that about the last time out. I was there. I was with my dad, and it was Jamal Campbell-Rice tore as the new limb. Barker scored. I can't remember which Barker it was. One of the Barkers scored for you. I think it was Richie or Shaw. It was one of them. And
Ross, would you agree with Terry's comment? I mean, we can't get complacent and think it's a gimme. Do you feel that's how we set up at Sheffield Wednesday, Ross? where you thought, you know what, we can make 6 changes and that, and, you know, we're guaranteed to win this game? Do you think we overlooked Sheffield Wednesday slightly in how bad they actually was and thought, you know what, they're just going to roll over and we're going to win this game? Do you think now with this game coming, do you feel that it's one of them now where with Leicester, they can't be complacent in this game and think Rotherham, you know, it's going to be a walk in the park. You know, they're going to be in for a game, Leicester. You know, they're going to be in for a fight, a battle. You know, like every team's going to come in, make it difficult for us and that. You know, we've just got to go and put our performance out, haven't we, Ross? Show our quality and take our chances and, you know, really take the game to Rotherham.
100%. You know, I said this to you, Jack, again before Wednesday. I said, you know, it's something about this I'm not feeling it. And obviously, yes, we went 1-0 up, but we didn't play great. We weren't. I think probably our worst performance of the season. I think you can agree on that one. It wasn't great at all, and obviously they get the last minute equaliser. So obviously, I go into this game. I've said my predictions 2-1. I just think it'll be a tight game. I think Rotherham will come out fighting. Like I said the other day, unfortunately, the last minute goal from Plymouth. I was watching some of that game, and I thought Rotherham played really well. And obviously, they picked up some big results this season. You said they drew with Leeds, thank you very much. They drew with Ipswich, thank you very much again. They drew with Southampton.
You got a lot to be thankful for with Rotherham this season, haven't you, Ross? Considering it's your second
Definitely.
team.
You know, obviously they've, you know, not this. Well, to be fair, I have gone to a game with Terry. To be fair, I have gone to a game with Terry.
Don't admit things hard on here, Ross.
No, to be fair though, they haven't won. They didn't win Huddersfield for years, and I suddenly go and Connor Salmon turns into prime Messi. I can remember Connor.
Ross, we're gonna go on to the last time round. These two sides met in the league. 2-1 Leicester with a result. McAteer at the double for the Foxes. A cracker late on won it for the Foxes. A ball from Callum Doyle, as you say, Ross. What a ball. McAteer, you know, bends it in the corner, past Victor Johansson. Leicester 3 points to the good. But yeah, you know, you talk about the game itself. I mean, Rotherham made it difficult for us, you know. You could say they dominated the early spells of the game, really made it tough for Leicester, really dug in. Leicester had to dig deep in that game and, you know, try and compete quite of how Rotherham turned up the energy on us. You know, it was the early start of the Maresca sort of experimental sort of side of things with getting the squad and knowing his squad and stuff like that and trying different things out. And then second off, it was like a training game, wasn't it? Let's be honest, Ross. You know, Rotherham come out, got the goal, Leicester score again, and then Rotherham tired themselves out, didn't the Ross? They gave it so much for the role that game and respect to them that they did that. But that's what you expect from these teams, isn't it, Ross? You know, you know, at the end of the day, at full time, you want to think to yourself, we were definitely in for a game here, and credit to sides like Rotherham who's going to come and do that.
I know they always say that, don't they, Terry? You know, yourself, teams like Rotherham, they always say that.
I tell you what, do you know what? I've said ages ago, we should have that hashtag teams like Rotherham on our collar. I'll tell you now, the amount of times when people turn around and say, "Oh, teams like Rotherham, teams like," I don't care. You can keep saying that. Anybody, any fan can keep saying teams like Rotherham. But I'm telling you now, if we put a physical battle, straight points, and keep in the championship, I'm happy to do. I'm happy with that I'm happy to finish 21st every season. I really am.
As long as
this sort of game, isn't it, Ross? A statement game before the big game versus Ipswich or Boxing. Leicester's got to go and, you know, put out that performance. Secret Miller, Ross Harwood. I can agree with that. Hashtag teams like Rotherham.
There we go.
Do you know what? It's not a bad saying at the end of the day. There's no disrespect to Rotherham. You know, they're a side who like to come and compete, and I know where they don't want to be. It was obviously at the bottom of the table and that, but you know, you've got to credit Rotherham. They can make it difficult for sides, and you know, you can't overlook any team in this league, no matter how poor run of form they are or anything like that. You know, you've just got to respect the opposition. Let's have a look. Could you ask Tezza if he remembers the League One playoffs against Scunthorpe I'm a Scunthorpe fan, and we've hit rock bottom currently. Respect to both teams. Big up Scunthorpe. Tezza, Scunthorpe playoffs.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day in TikTok, weren't we, Ross, actually? We were on about Scunthorpe, how much they've dropped off, unfortunately for them. I've been to Scunthorpe a couple of times. Glanford Park, I think it's called, their stadium.
It's just a shame. It's just a shame how the club ended up getting into a mess. No club should ever do that, though. Should they? Let's be honest. No side should be in this sort of predicament.
No, definitely not.
Unless they're called Milton Keynes.
Shut up, Ross.
I was saying to him the other day in the TikTok chat with Martin and that, and we had a chat about Scunthorpe. I don't know how we got onto that, but we did. And we were saying, like, in the playoffs when we played you were the better side. I thought in both legs, Scunthorpe were the better side with the possession wise and getting the ball down. But I think we made it that more physical, and we just took our chances when we needed to. And unfortunately for Scunthorpe, they lost out in the semi-final. We went on to go to play Shrewsbury in the final. I really do think if Scunthorpe had got to the final against Shrewsbury, they'd have done the same as what we did with them and just tie them out. And that's what happened with Shrewsbury in the end. We went to extra time, and it just basically they were doing the same thing as what your guys did to us this year. You tied us out, and we just end of the day got the result and went what we wanted.
Yeah,
there's only one player I want to talk about, Victor Johansson.
Hold on, Ross. We're going to get on to that. You're really moving quicker than I am here, Ross. I know your camera might not be thinking about it with keep coming in and out, but right. Let's get into foot in both camps. I tell you what, Gilchrist is obviously one that Leicester fans would know. He made 30-odd appearances for Leicester in his time with the Foxes, like he did with Rotherham. Rodney Fern, a very good player for Leicester. He was a very good player, Rodney Fern, what I heard of him and how good he was. With obviously my dad supporting Leicester in that, talked very highly of Rodney Fern and that very good technical player. Conrad Logan, I mean, do you remember much Conrad Logan, Terry, as a Rotherham fan?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we had him in the Don Valley days. We did. Yeah, we had him at the Don Valley days when we didn't have a ground in suffering in League Two.
Chris O'Grady.
Yeah, like it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best, Conrad Logan, but I'll always remember him for one specific thing. He saved the penalty at Bradford. And that was probably his highlight of his Rotherham loan career, basically, when we had him on loan. That was probably his,
Conrad Logan was one of the worst keepers Rotherham have ever had. I think he wasn't the greatest of keepers, was it, Conrad Logan? The next one we move on to today is George Hurst.
I just think he was unfortunate with Rotherham. I really do. Like, as much as I'd have loved him to, get a goal in the Championship, I just don't think we was battling at the time, trying to stay up. And I keep saying this about players, and I'll say it about a couple of players as well in this current squad. If they're in a mid-table team where they're not defending for their lives every game, they have the more chances with a team that's got a bit more quality. I think they would have scored more goals for us. Like he's scoring goals for Ipswich now. They're playing unbelievable football. He's scoring goals for Ipswich. He's linking up with Connor Chapman because they're good players. They're good quality players. And he's under a good manager.
Do you think this is where Rotherham played in like the wrong sort of format? Do you think this is obviously they've got the best out of him?
I don't think he got that much of a chance because he always coming off the bench. Do you know? It reminds me of similar to Tom Eaves. He kept coming off the bench. He never got the biggest chance. He come on for like 20 minutes at a time or 15 minutes at the end of a game. But every time he did come on the pitch, though, you can see where Tom Eaves is trying, in sense, like to try and link up players. But as for us, he kind of had that attitude where he just didn't look bothered. He just didn't want to be here, kind of thing. Like that, he had that attitude, and I was saying if at that point of your career, you need to be playing to try and get a better move, kind of thing. Because you were a young lad, and I understand that, but like put your body about. Do you know what I mean? Like make yourself think. Well, if I play well here at Rotherham, or even like have a sense of my bit of quality, I could go get a move, like kind of thing. To be fair, Ipswich must see something in him when he were at Rotherham, but I guess we didn't see that, and he has at Ipswich. So times change, and he's probably matured as much as what he did when he were at Rotherham. In an Ipswich shirt, he's probably matured more, and he's become a better player.
Chris O'Grady, or you lot like to call him Chris O'Grady. Talk to me about Chris O'Grady. I don't think he's Ross.
Yeah.
Chris O'Grady.
What I remember, he scored a goal against Luton. That's how I remember. He scored a goal against Luton for Leicester in the Championship, and then he went to Rotherham. So I don't know too much about him at Leicester. I just remember his Rotherham days because I heard all off everybody else. All Rotherham fans, oh yeah, he's greedy, him. Yep. But I could understand why. I at that point you're in administration, and then he wanted more money. Who does that? So
agreed. Ross is back again. Chris O'Grady walked when we're in money troubles. Yes, another one of them players. Then, Terry, we're going to go to team selection, mate. What do you think the team's going to be then for Rotherham? I mean, how does Liam Richardson set up for this one, pal?
I think he'll go 3-5-2. I think that's probably one of his formations, his key formation. He played that well at I kept saying Ipswich, Wigan, sorry. He played that well at Wigan in League One when he was there. He tried bringing that into the Championship. He tried keeping them afloat with the financial what he got. Wigan. Unfortunately, when they got a takeover, I felt sorry for him then because they just wanted a bigger name and they just shifted him out and they basically got Colo Torre in and it didn't work for him. But I think we'll start as a 3-5-2 with Richardson. Definitely we're going to have Johansson in net, 100%. There's no word about that. A kind of back three if we can. I think it'll have to be Peltz, so he's a former player of yours as well.
Yeah, Lee Peltier, yeah.
I think we'll go a Doffin, and I think we'll go Sean Morrison, mate. I think that will be his back three. Left back, I've got a feeling it will be Cohen Bramall, but I'd like to see Revan in there, who's on loan from Villa. Lembasika at right back. Again, I like him, but I think he'd be better in a mid-table team, like I've said before. But he's got a quality going forward. He just can't defend that much. That's why we're going to suffer in the wide area. So, in a way, I wish we'd play Revan at left back because if we play Cohen Bramall and both Lembasika, we're going to get absolutely hammered down the wide areas on Saturday. The midfield three, I think it'll be Jamie Lindsay, Christ Tay, and Rathbone. And then I'm going to be surprised if Apia gets another game because he's been quite off it lately. But it could be Apia and Nombe up front. But I'd really like to see rather probably Hugel and Nombe up front. Maybe that'll probably be my 3-5-2 for Rotherham lineup, mate. To be fair,
Ross, we're gonna go through Leicester. Terry says he'd keep it unchanged from the Birmingham win on Monday night. Would you agree, Ross? Is this the sort of game we sit there and go unchanged for the game against Rotherham?
I think he makes changes all the time anyway, but for the better, to give people rest and stuff. And I just think, in my opinion, I think Vestergaard does need a rest because obviously if he does get booked against Rotherham, he will miss Ipswich and Cardiff.
So Vestergaard misses them, Ross. Do we put Suter in there?
Yes, or Cody.
Okay.
I would put one of them in. I won't. Like I said, not because he's bad, because Vestergaard's been brilliant this season.
Does Tom Cannon start? Do you reckon?
Ooh, yes. I think Tom Cannon should start.
Obviously, Nacho's going to be in contention as well. So who do you go up front, Ross? Is it do you keep with Patson Daka? Obviously, it is working, and obviously he didn't score against Birmingham, but or do you go with Tom Cannon and give Tom Cannon a run out?
I think give him one more chance. Obviously, we can't just keep playing one game and then dump him out the next. So I think maybe Daka could start the game and then see how it goes, and then obviously depends on how the score is at that point, and then switch and make Cannon, bring Cannon on. Because obviously Vardy's out injured, which is unfortunately. So I think maybe Daka starts, but just, as long as it's not Nacho, I think Daka needs that confidence. He needs them goals. That's what he needs.
Yeah, agreed. Ross, we're going to go with a score prediction, mate. We'll start with Terry first.
Yeah, I'll be with someone.
What's your head in heart, Terry, for this one?
My heart says I love Rotherham, so I want Rotherham to win. So I'm going to say 2-1 Rotherham because it's my heart. But my head also says a good 3-4, maybe 5-0 Drumming.
Okay, which one are you going for?
I'm gonna. I'll probably go about 3 or 4-0 Leicester. I think. I just think you're gonna absolutely dominate us in the wide area. I keep saying it. I've said it 3-4 times already. I just think you will. I think you will absolutely dominate us in the wide area, and you'll score probably 3 or 4. I think. I'd love to see us get one. So, do you know what? I'll go 4-1 Leicester. I would love to get one.
Who's going to score? Who's going to score for Rotherham?
I'm going to go Nombe. I'll go Nombe.
Nombe. No, I'm going to swap over with you. I'm going to go 3-0. 3-0 to the Foxes. I think we'll have enough quality to see the game through. I do think Rotherham will frustrate us and that and come out and give it a good go. But I think Leicester, second half, we seem to be outside who can dominate teams. And I think having that big pitch and that, you know what I mean, the bigger pitches seem to do quite advantage, don't they? To obviously, like you said, Rotherham can't play on bigger pitches. I think with Rotherham, you look at the pitch at Plymouth and it's basically the size of Rotherham's pitch, in it, you know what I mean? But when you go to Leicester and Leeds and teams like that, Southampton, they're more bigger than like Premier League pitches, aren't they? But no, I think we'll win 3-0. Who do I think will score though? I'll tell you what, I think Dewsbury will assist one. I think he'll score one though. I'll tell you what, I'll go Patson Daka and I'll go with a set piece goal. Tell you what, we'll go Yannick Vestergaard. We'll go for that. 3-0 for me. Ross is I don't know where Ross has got off to. 1-0 Leicester, 3-0 Leicester, Tot Daka and Cannon, yeah. Right, Terry, thank you for coming on, mate. Do appreciate it. All the best for the rest of the season, of course, after Saturday.
Yep, you too, buddy.
And we'll see you again soon.
All right, matey. Thank you for your time.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. That was Terry. Ross has been on as well. Appreciate them two coming on, giving it the Rotherham side of things, the Leicester side of things. It's good to have people like that come on and give us the views on the game itself. Thank you to everybody who's watched. Really appreciate it, giving your time. 2-1. Have a good Christmas, everyone. Yes, appreciate that. Guys, if you've enjoyed the stream, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. It helps out massively. The show for Ipswich, I think we're going to be doing it pre-recorded. I think we're going to do the Ipswich one pre-recorded, and it should be out Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. So if we do it pre-recorded, we're going to pre-record it in the morning of Christmas Eve. And it should be out either in the evening of Christmas Eve or in the morning of Christmas Day. So, we'll get it up. A big game, Leicester v Ipswich to come, of course, the battle at the top. Leicester, Ipswich double, yeah. We'll have the match day vlog out for Leicester v Rotherham. That'll be on the channel as well. We'll try and get round to doing the championship predictions as well. A lot on to do over the Christmas period. A lot of games to come as well in the space of days. And thank you to everybody who has watched tonight. Really appreciate it, all the support. If you haven't watched us again, and yeah, have a good Christmas. To all the supporters who support the Final Whistle and that, who come and watch our stuff, then yeah, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. Go and enjoy it with your loved ones. Yeah, go check out the Championship predictions week 23. We did them yesterday. Yeah, go check them out. Let us know your predictions for that as well. Have a good Christmas. Yeah, likewise. Don't see you before. Stay safe. Yeah, same to everybody else. That is it for me. Take care, everyone, and keep it here at the Final Whistle. And bye-bye for now. Up the Leicester. Hi all, thank you for watching the Final Whistle. If you enjoy all our content, please remember to smash a like, share and subscribe to the channel.